Previously on Wonders and Blunders.
Yeah, so I'll take out my crossbow that has, I think I still have 3 silver bolts left.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just like, and just kind of like shoot with the crossbow.
The cape billows up behind them, and Star on the ground, you sort of just quickly sidestep as he just clumps into the ground in a perfect pose, holding this silver bolt coming out of their chest.
Yeah, and I'll mumble and be like, well, that's the thing. Teak would have dodged that.
And you see this brown-haired human man, looks like probably early 20s. And then the other one puts their hood down, and you see this green tiefling woman. We're with the rising sun. We got sent here by a dwarf. She said this place was, I think she said, filled to the brim with vampires. We talked about this. What did we say?
What did we talk of?
We talked of you not just taking Ben whenever you want.
He is an avatar of Sindor's will.
Yeah, well, who are you?
Whom?
I know your name.
I am exerting his will on creation and time.
I also would like to know, how well do you know how to use that? And I kind of point at his sword.
Oh, this? And he like swings it out and like does this big flourish, which you can see is all show and no practice.
Okay. How about after this, we have a little sparring match, eh?
And he, like, the smile just evaporates off of his face, and he's like, I would love that. So I guess we'll start off in the Weary Wolf. We left off. The groaning townsfolk just sort of sitting there trying their best to be jolly, I guess, with a question mark. Like, they have sort of smiles plastered onto their faces because they know what happened is good, but they're all still just exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
The fire is out. The mist is still sort of hanging on the ground outside and is now joined with like slight smoke in the air. It is the middle of the night, and people have sort of been passing around stories. A lot of them have been crowding around Garen and Morguna, asking them all sorts of questions. And Mazanor and Lilana are doing the same, sitting around listening to try and get extra insight into having hung around this vampire for 5 years.
We listen in.
Okay.
Star is not with the group. He's sitting with his family by the fire, and Star is dozing in a chair while Dust is carving an S into one of the daggers that he found in the church.
Oh, okay.
Is it one of those sweet, like, 90s S's that everyone drew in their notebooks?
Oh, like the 3 lines?
Yeah, it totally can be.
And I think Dust is pestering Light and Sky right now, and he's like, you have to tell me what happened. You wouldn't let me go watch over by the library. And they're like, no, really, we don't want to get into this. It's really just, we killed a bunch of vampires. Just write that down. And he's like, no, I need details. You don't, the Cat Lord is not going to settle for, we killed a bunch of vampires. He's going to want to know how. When we share this story, it's important we get the details down. And they're like, later. The conversation with Garen and Morguna is mostly Garen sort of getting invested in running the town. He actually stands up as he's fielded his 4th question of should we go on our nighttime alone walks now. People just keep coming up and being like, well, I just want to ask you this real quick before I go on my nighttime alone walk. And he's like, no, okay, listen. And he stands up and he's like, okay, the nighttime alone walks do not have to happen anymore. All of those rules were made up by vampires who were trying to kill you. Those vampires are gone now, thanks to this group. And he, like, points out to all of you, and they...
Ben waves to them.
And the people say, so what do we do? Whatever you want. Go home. Take care of yourselves. If you still have family here, find them. I can definitely understand if you want to leave. I don't know what this town was like before. I only saw it very briefly before I had to take up this disguise, but I know that it was a great place and that you were all honest workers and you made your lives here, and I don't intend to abandon this place. My brother was supposed to lead you, and he was seduced by power, and that power destroyed him, along with me and a stake in his heart. But I'm not going to leave you to fend for yourselves. I don't know much about leading a town, but I think that together we can bring this place back to what it was. The members of the Rising Sun here have assured me that now that this vampiric influence is gone, the trees should grow back and we can start lumber work again. And once we get strong enough, we can start up the mine again and we can get trade moving in this town once more and really bring it back. And I want to say that I'm dedicated to making that happen.
Are there any fish in the river you could, or do they shoot right off the waterfall?
Yeah, those fish probably beef it pretty quick if they get stuck in that river. They've come right out of the mountain too, and someone's like, I used to eat the fish, and he's like, well, yeah, okay, I guess some people eat.
I guess you can make a net at the end.
Someone's like, they caught me.
I could certainly show you a few things, perhaps, about fixing up some sort of fixative or apparatus, or a Bito certainly could help build something, perhaps.
Well, yeah, I mean, great. These are all, and I'll set up, I don't know, like a suggestion box or something. And
If you'd like, I've got quite a few thoughts on the pros and cons of a constitutional monarchy.
Maybe let's all get some sleep first before we go into that. That sounds like
You're
a bit.
trying to design a new system of government here, are you not? A whole new town.
Well, I just kind of wanted to get people back to chopping down trees.
Well, you must put these things on paper.
He adjusts his collar a little bit, and he says, "Well, anyway, that's all. You can readjust to being awake in the daytime and not waiting to snap awake in a cold sweat. Everyone can go home and go to bed, or stay here. You're free. You can do whatever you like." And Morguna sort of stands up and says, "Yes, well, speaking of, I think I'm going to begin my travels immediately."
I'd just like to talk to you for a sec before you go.
Sure. Yeah. Can we walk and talk?
Sure, absolutely.
And she starts walking out of the Weary Wolf back up towards the castle.
Morguna, we were talking to the Rising Suns earlier, and I just wanted to warn you that you might be going back to a bad situation in Hamel Hall.
What?
Well, it's not for sure, but there might be more vampires there.
They told you that there's more vampires in Hamel Hall?
They said that there were rumors.
Okay.
So, there might not be any vampires. You know what to look for. Blackened trees, bats, wolves.
Oh yeah, I got the drift. Shouldn't have burned that dress. Well, thank you for the heads up. I guess if I see any of the signs, at least I know the Rising Sun is an organization. I'll have to get their contact info or something before I leave. But thank you for the heads up, Cara.
No problem.
And she, I think at this point, is like at the doors to the castle. And she says, I'm just going to pack up my things. And she says, ooh, and takes off her slippers and gives them to you.
Oh.
And she says, this whole costume is just going to bring back bad memories for me. I think maybe if I get to Hamel Hall and there is mist on the ground and sharp teeth pointing my way, I may turn away and just send someone else to deal with it this time. So I won't be needing these.
Well, you've probably done your bit as far as getting rid of vampires. Thank you.
Yeah, so she hands them to you. The official art for these, they look like Crocs with spider webs on them. Which is awful, I think. So whoever ends up using these, I think, should reskin them in some way. Because the art is horrible. Are you looking at them? Yeah. Look. They're so gross.
Wow.
They're so gross.
They actually do look like Crocs.
They really dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah. They look exactly like
Wow,
Crocs.
those are bad.
If you have to churn out like 1,000 pictures of magic items, probably this was 999.
I know.
It looks like they were going
Just
for
a Photoshop
Grandpa's slippers, but
Sears
they really
picture.
look like Crocs.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
just can't help but thinking because D&D has magic item creation rules. And these would have taken like 3 years and like 30,000 gold to create. And I can only imagine after 3 years of like sweat and toil, this wizard just comes out with fucking Crocs in his hand. Like,
I like the idea of like putting your foot on the wall and then falling out of the slippers down.
just no ankle strap. It does look like they would just stick to the wall and you'd fall right out. Like laces.
Like they don't even wrap around the ankle. I mean, come on.
You want those things up the calf, right? You want to use that whole.
In the there was
in.
old art of them in 3.0 where they looked like little girl church socks with the ankle socks with the lace, but the lace was spiderweb, and at least that fucking went around the ankle. Yeah. They look.
Oh yeah, someone please reskin these into toe socks. That's the only.
Yeah. That's the only way to work.
That's amazing.
They she says these'll let you walk up walls like I did.
Oh, they're fantastic. Thank you.
Well, thank you all. You really came in at the last minute there, and I'm glad that my plan didn't bite me and everyone else in the neck.
Yes, I think we got quite lucky, honestly. It was maybe a bit more than I was anticipating.
And then Morgana just sort of nods to you, and she says, I'm gonna get packing. I suppose maybe see you around if you make your way to Hamel Hall, and it's not full of vampires. Oh, God.
Farewell. Happy journeys.
And she, creaks the huge doors open again and walks inside.
If Cara walks back the path on the way back to the Wary Wolf, she might see Rowan, and he's kind of got one of his hands on the trees, and kind of you can sort of see his head going. He's kind of chatting, and as she approaches, you can hear him. Now, when you start growing again, you're going to want to put some branches down low and kind of shore them up, and people can use them as benches and that, and then they'll treat you all right. And then when you grow up tall, now you can kind of link up with some of your friends around here, and you can sort of get a little bit of a tunnel going for them, and they'll love that, and they'll water you well, and take good care of you if you grow up like. And just kind of like giving them advice on how to kind of shape a community space with themselves.
Yeah, I think this one still has like an evil, spooky face built into the knothole.
Yeah.
It's like glaring at you, but you get a positive aura back from it.
Yeah.
Healing almost.
I think Bree has probably also been avoiding the inn and is just cleaning up any of the remaining bat and rat problems that have been infesting the town.
Yeah, I think a lot of the rats under Rowan's advice have sort of scurried out of sight, but there's still bats galore. You can snap those out of the sky.
I think Ben would be following Bree around, maybe with like a handful of stones, throwing them at bats. If we're getting in on this,
I think. So, just before bed, Star is going to track down Mazanor.
Yeah,
And it's going to be like, we're probably going to be leaving soon, but in the morning I was thinking perhaps you could show me what someone of your order can do.
And he says, "Oh, yeah. I've been thinking about that, and listen, I don't know if I'm allowed to give away our secrets. I'm really gonna have to check." And like right behind him, Lilana's like, "Oh no, you should do that. I would also like to see how your training has been coming along." And he's like, "Well, see you in the morning." And
Excellent.
Yeah, his hand
Well,
kinda,
I look forward to
down around his
And
sword.
I hold my hand out to shake it.
Yeah, he like shakily grabs it, and just kind of the shake in his own arm is what shakes your hand back. And he's like, "Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get some sleep. I'm gonna get some good sleep." And Lilana's just like, you can see her in the background, like trying not to laugh while she.
I'm
watches
also
this.
struggling not to laugh.
Yeah. Okay, so you're all gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you sleeping?
caravan.
Caravan.
Yeah.
But maybe there'd be rooms at the castle.
Those rooms are still there,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of empty houses as well.
Vaelin would suggest, why not make ourselves comfortable one last time while the opportunity is still available? Star, you must want to enjoy a more comfortable bed.
That sounds. I'll go with you, Vaelin. Ben's like poked his head out of the caravan.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
It may be quite some time before we're able to enjoy such creature comforts.
Light, sky, dust.
Yeah, the three of them are like, there's real beds?
Big comfy ones.
Well, yeah, let's do that. I'm freezing.
I'll go grab Bito.
And, we'll go to
And
bed.
Yuri comes out too, and he's like, "Yeah, I think that's a dang good idea. You know, I think Gertie and Brett, I'll let them sort of wander a bit. Let them get some. I mean, it's safe here now, right?
I think so.
Certainly
Yeah.
seems that way.
Great.
I don't know how far the wolves have gone yet.
Yeah, you don't see any now. And he's like, well, a couple of wolves won't bother these guys, and kind of gives them a slap. And you can see that like a lot of the people here have become accustomed to staying up all night, so it's a little more populated than it has been in the past. And Yuri says, yeah, all right, and just takes off running towards the castle.
Yeah, I think just head up and grab
Ben
a
would
room.
chase him with
Yep.
his puppy.
Yeah.
Running behind him.
Okay. So everybody runs up to the castle. You're all able to sort of find your own beds with accompanying Victorian pajamas.
I think I'm gonna sleep in the dining room in front of that big fireplace,
Yeah.
like a nice warm rock.
Okay. Yeah. And there
This is a big manor, though, right? Like
It
I'm
is big.
imagining, like the bedrooms have fireplaces.
Some of them, I guess, on further, like down at the ends, there are larger bedrooms that would have fireplaces in them. Most of the smaller ones are pretty little, like they're mostly just like a bed and a couple of pieces of
The
furniture.
guest ones, but if we can find
Grabbing one of those,
Yeah, I would definitely
stoking that fire.
try and like hustle my way towards the other one at the other end of the hall.
Yeah.
Literally being the first time I get to sleep in a bed since
Yeah.
the first night of the steady stream.
Yeah.
and Ben and his puppy follow you in.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and these rooms are
I'm
big.
taking
Like
the bed.
there is enough room that like because I think the other tabaxi come with you, Star, and they sort of set up. There's like a big fur rug on the ground, and they sort of set up there, and there's like a large bed as well. Yeah, through the night, it's perfectly quiet outside. It's there's no wind, no lightning, no bats bouncing up against the windows. You get a really safe and comfortable sleep.
I guess
Long rest.
Ben got in bed with into the bed, like climbs into the bed with Vaelin, and he's tossing and turning throughout the night and like whimpering.
Okay.
I don't know why a child's fear is so fun.
Yeah. But you're not waking up. You're
No.
just in your sleep. I
Yeah.
think Vaelin would, try and make sure that you're comfortable, put some blankets over you, but not wake you up unless you're like clearly like gripped by like terror. But if it's just whimpering, I think he might wait till the morning to bring it up.
So the sun comes up over the mountains and starts shining through the windows. And you can see now that it's not that sort of gray, overcast sunlight that you're used to here. It comes through really bright and clear. And when you look out the windows, you see some birds have made their way in. Some of these like fat little white fluffy birds that look like flying snowballs are sort of like flying their way through the town.
Oh.
Pleasant bird song. And yeah, you're up. Successful full long rest. And you can already hear Yuri sort of like whistling and walking through the halls.
Yeah, so I think in the morning I would start doing my preparations for my like morning divination. So I would, I think this morning I would again pull out the book and start reading through and start sort of counting letters and whatnot in each page, looking for the signs and the text, and wait until Ben wakes up.
Yeah, so Ben kind of stirs awake, and he doesn't look like that rested. He's got the kind of tousled up hair and bags under his eyes that you kind of become accustomed to. And he, it's morning already. Hey, morning, Vaelin.
Good morning, Benjamin. How did you sleep?
Good.
Are you entirely certain? You seemed troubled.
Oh, I had a bad dream.
Would you like to talk about it?
Okay. There was a monster chasing me, and I tried to run, but I couldn't. And you guys were all there, but then you turned into big birds. And I couldn't run, but I was being chased.
That sounds very frightening.
Yeah.
But certainly not more frightening than some of the things you've already faced and bested.
True. And I've got little Garlic here. And Ben
Yes, exactly.
ruffles the head of his puppy.
Now, I'm sure if you saw us in your dreams turning into birds, we didn't fly away on you, did we?
No. But I think you were trying to kill me.
Kill you? You
Yeah.
know that none of us would ever mean you any harm.
I know, dreams are just dreams.
To an extent, yes, but dreams do potentially possess sometimes magical properties, or
Really?
they can communicate deeper meanings at times.
That nightmare you're having might be real. Who knows?
Yeah, Ben's eyes are just
You shouldn't take them at face value, but it is possible to learn what hidden meanings they may possess. Would you like to see what I'm doing now?
Okay.
And I would start talking Ben, partly in hopes to distract him, but start taking him through like how I try to tell the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben is like paying attention at first, and then you notice that he's drifted away, and he started making the fire in the fireplace brighter and then dimmer, and then brighter and then dimmer.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, the future.
Certainly. I see that this doesn't interest you. That's okay. Let's go get our breakfast.
I'd like to learn more.
Another time, perhaps.
Okay. Come on, Garlic. 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 Bad girl. Garlic, put that down.
As soon as Rowan's eyes would have opened up, I think he would have jumped up and went to the kitchen and see if he could like scrounge up breakfast for everybody.
So there are turkeys waiting for you.
Oh, okay. So he would have had this plan, and he would have gotten out and be like, "Yeah, all right, well, maybe some eggs, and I'll get him some toast," and then I'll see the turkeys and be like, "Oh, I wonder if I told him I made." No, that's no. I'll just wait.
Yeah, and you actually see as you come downstairs that there are a bit of staff still walking around. Some of the people who live and work in the castle are still here, and when they noticed you were staying there, cooked you up some breakfast turkeys.
I would like to note that I think at some point during the morning, the staff would have tried to enter the dining hall to set that up for breakfast.
Yeah.
And Bree would have just like loudly growled and tried to scare all of them out from that entire room.
Oh, okay. So I think what actually happens then is you come downstairs and you see like 7 turkeys laid at the doorway to the dining room, spread out. With the doors closed.
Okay, so I'll kind of push the door open and just kind of stick my head in at first.
I think you hear like a loud slumbering, like snore echoing throughout the hallway.
Oh, what a sweetheart. Okay, and I'll take up the turkeys and kind of quietly set the table while Bree is snoozing away.
Okay. I guess Yuri joins you pretty soon, and Bree would wake you up because he's sort of like singing to himself, and he comes in and he's like, good morning, Rowan.
Good morning. But
What?
Oh, well, now you've woke her.
Sorry, Bree, did I wake you up?
He's okay. You are waking with turkey.
Oh, yeah, I had nothing to do with this. This was all Rowan.
Rowan! How many? 8, 9 turkeys?
And you can kind of see, I've been up all... no, it was the servants. The employees here, they put this together for.
Well, it is great hunt, and Bree appreciates it greatly.
Well, you should let them know. They were just piled outside the door over here.
Well, I did not want them in earlier.
Oh, it was you. Oh, now I see. I understand. All right.
It is nice to have all this space to oneself. I can see why these humans build great castles. It's
Yeah.
like a cave, but it's not as dirty.
Well, it's nice to have the space to kind of have people over, right? And you can kind of have room for everybody at your table this way.
It's much nicer sometimes when one is alone.
Uh-huh.
Come, let us eat.
Yuri's like, I think you got the right idea there, Bree. See, that's sort of why I'm in the business. You know, enough money, you can buy a place like this wherever you like. Set it up, you pay people to come and build your own cave wherever you like. You're not tied down to any sort of a greater ruling body. You know, you can start your own town like this.
Bree has never been tied to anyone.
No, well, yeah, I guess there's a freedom in that, but also a lot of people don't like to sleep outside because it's a dangerous world out there. Not for someone like you, but someone squishier like me.
This is true. Yuri is very squishy, and I think Bree just like grabs Yuri by the I assume pot belly, and just gives him a little shake.
Yeah,
a little jiggle.
He's a little sturdier, I think, than he looks.
Okay.
But you give him a bit of a squeeze, and it's enough to sort of Heimlich some turkey out of his mouth onto the table. And he's like, yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, but you got this scales and this hardened constitution from living outside. I don't have that, but you know, gold is the strongest type of armor.
Bree will remember this. Bree is learning the value of your gold.
Gold is actually a little bit soft for armor.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean, but he can buy the hardest stuff around. Diamonds.
Well,
See Bree just diamonds. Go off chewing on a turkey leg.
Yeah, I think at this point probably Ben and Vaelin would join in.
Yeah, everyone can sort of come in whenever.
yeah. So you're telling me that you trade all this friendship for something like gold or diamonds? Something you see everywhere we've gone. We've seen gold and we've seen diamonds. Would you?
Yeah, but
would
it's
you,
not mine.
Well, this friendship already is. So
Oh, of course.
you trade this for something as common as gold or diamonds?
How much?
Oh, now I think you're just having me on.
I don't know. You wouldn't sell me for any amount?
No, I don't think I would.
No?
I hate to break it to you, Rowan, but I have unfortunately seen the darker side of what money can influence a person to do, and every person has their price.
And how much would
Really?
someone like you cost? How much gold would Bree get in exchange?
Yeah, that's a good question. All right, we're going to go around the table. Everybody value everybody else.
That sounds like a very uncomfortable task.
How about we eat breakfast first, and then maybe we can talk about something like that.
Bree lights up at this idea of eating breakfast.
Yeah, so the turkeys that everybody is sort of able to eat comfortably. Yuri at some point stops sort of interacting with everybody and takes out his book again and starts scrolling through it.
Yeah, I think as we're eating, Vaelin would sort of pipe up and say, "So, have we settled? Where are we headed next?"
Were we going to try and find Diglin?
Yes, and the last we heard was that she had headed towards the sunken town?
Yeah,
I think
east that way, right?
I think so. That's what Mazinor said.
Was there a settlement near there that she had been seen at, or...
I believe the lake is the settlement.
Oh, I thought it was a ruin. I suppose we'll find out when we get there.
But
Yeah.
we haven't had good luck in towns, so I'm happy to get back on the road.
Bree is looking forward to going swimming again. It is not easy to find up here where it is so cold.
So, off to the sunken church, or whatever they were calling it.
Yeah, that looks good to me. I think we get in that direction. This Diglin character seems to know what's going on in this area. Maybe she could be helpful in figuring out where my item is.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned something about a gate or something like that. That's on the ground, right?
Yeah, I've been trying to get some research done. We've been fairly busy, but it seems like we're looking for a big gate but obviously it can't be that easy to see, as nobody has seen it in quite a long time.
Well, if we're talking about a bunch of ruins that sunk down into a lake, maybe that houses something for it.
Yeah, that definitely piques my interest too. It seems like a place that wouldn't be frequently traveled if traveled at all. So if it's a place no one else is looking, then it might be a good idea for us to look there.
And sinking down is a great way to put a gate underground, isn't it?
That's true. It does. There seems to be something here about an aura. It keeps mentioning this aura that is required, like a key to open it. So I don't know if it's only like a certain person or what. I mean, I'm sure if we find it, we'll find a way to open it, but it keeps mentioning this aura.
Like a magical aura.
I'm not sure. It doesn't really say. I can't understand much of what's written around it, but this word keeps coming up, and I'm pretty sure I've got it translated to aura.
It could be a type of light, a magical presence, perhaps a holy influence.
Oh, that would be convenient for us, wouldn't it, Benjamin?
I don't know.
Well, I'm itching to hit the road. Is there any last business we need to see to here in town?
I think Garen and they seem to have things under control. Star, is there anything you'd like to get up to?
Oh, Star's not at the table. He's still in bed.
What?
Oh, wait a minute. Now, where's Star?
Yeah, we'll cut to upstairs of just like a big pile of fur on the ground and Star sprawled out in a huge bed.
Literally, like I think, I think with the fire roaring and like big comfy beds and like fur rugs and everything to like lounge around on, like the Tabaxi crew in total is just really taking advantage of it.
Yeah. I think what wakes you up is you hear like a clattering outside the door.
Yeah, I guess Star will get up and go to the door and open it.
Yeah, and you see Bido has like the whole rug in the hallway rolled up, and he's just like throwing in candelabras and like unscrewing the golden knobs off of like drawers in the hallway and like throwing them down and just rolling them all up in the rug. And he goes, "Oh, morning, fuzzy boss."
Oh, morning, Baito. Having a good time?
Oh yeah, I've been up all night. I've done a lot of stuff.
Well, don't let me get in your way. And then,
he starts like dragging this carpet down the hallway, and you just hear it like clatter. And then he gets to the top of the stairs, and he's like, And then a second later, you just hear like an explosion of metal objects bouncing in all directions, and then just like, oh, it went so much worse than I thought it would. Oh, it's everywhere. Oh, this took so long to gather.
Okay, I think at that, all the rest of the Tabaxi are gonna wake up too.
Yeah.
And then I'll just be like, no, it's exactly what you think it is. Let's get some of these pajamas on and go see what's for breakfast, eh?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'm starving. I didn't have much of an appetite last night for some. Oh yeah, that's why.
Are you?
There it goes.
How was that? Are you okay?
It was intense. And she kind of looks over at Light, and Light is like, yeah, I think intense is a pretty good word for it. But it's okay. They would have done worse to us if they had come out.
It's true, but I think you had the hardest job of any one of us. So I'm very glad that you two are along with me.
Yes, and Sky is like, we are happy to be along. Don't take it as we will be here to do just this if it comes up again. It's not a wavering of loyalty or duty.
I didn't. No, it's. And then he kind of stops talking, and then he just goes over and gives them both a hug.
Yeah, and they, like, for a second, like, I think especially Light kind of, like, steps back to allow it to be you and Sky, and then when you kind of, like, grab her and pull her in, and then you just feel around your legs, like, dust. He's like, what are we doing?
Going for breakfast. How does that sound?
It sounds perfect. And
I'm going to grab him and throw him up on my shoulders, and then we'll go downstairs.
Yeah. So
and we're going to find, like, the most decadent silk pajamas.
Oh yeah, so you've all got sort of matching Don't Wake Daddy pajamas.
Don't like that. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a flash from the past.
So a group of tabaxi walk into the breakfast room, I guess, wearing like knee-length silk robes and don't wet daddy pajamas.
Yeah.
but
You
he's
pass a
just ruined his
weeping
hair.
Bido at the bottom of the stairs, just like crying over his little scattered horde.
Baito,
Yeah.
turkeys?
Oh, yeah, okay. He's like, you're not to cheer me up, first of all. Yeah, so you see all these. I guess, yeah, Light, Sky, and Dust make their way over and start splitting up a turkey, and Bido pounces on it as well and grabs a leg, and Dust starts chasing Bido around while Bido, like, screeches with this turkey leg held over his head.
Yeah, Ben and Garlic get in on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rowan would just have a big grin on his face, and you'd just sort of hear him under his breath, and not all the gold in the world.
So what's the plan?
We're going to continue tracking down Diglin and head towards the. I checked the map again. It's actually the Frozen Church. The Frozen Church is the one that has sunken in the lake. Yes.
So it's a church waist deep in a lake.
I don't know if it's waist deep or further submerged.
You
I also don't know if
history
the...
checked this, I think,
Yes,
right?
we did, didn't we?
Yeah, so you know this is at the bottom of the lake.
At the bottom of the
and
lake.
that this
Do I remember Frozen Church is making me think ice-covered lake?
ice-covered lake.
Yes, that will be interesting.
I mean, it is winter.
Yeah. Yes, no, it's located at the very bottom of a quite large lake. And actually, Bree, I'm not sure if swimming is going to be quite so easily done.
Why not?
You are cold-blooded, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't think it'd be very safe for you to enter these frigid waters.
Well, Bree, we might be able to make it work, though. I mean, the rest of us could have a good fire going on the shore, and you kind of time yourself and just be down for short periods. It's sort of reconnaissance, right? And then you can come back up and warm yourself by this big fire that the rest of us will do. I mean, we're not going to be any good underwater, so...
I'm certain we'll find a way around it.
Yeah, well, there's a will, there's a way.
I mean, worst case, we can burn down town from top to bottom.
Oh,
No,
well...
it's underwater. That would be quite challenging.
He's a joke, Feehan.
Well, you got me with that
You
one,
caught
too.
me with my problem-solving mentality. on.
We will face problem one step at a time.
Together, even.
So while they're having that conversation, Ben breaks off from chasing Bido and goes over to Yuri and just kind of tugs on his, cape, pants? Tugs on him.
His pajamas. Yeah.
Tugs on them jammas.
Yeah. And he kind of looks down, and you see him kind of like cast you this distracted look as he's still nose deep in his book. And then when he sees it's you, he closes the book and puts it away. And he's like, "Hi, how are you?"
I'm good. There's something I'd like to show you in the castle, Uncle Yuri.
Oh.
You want to come with me and Garlic? This is Garlic. I named her Garlic.
Oh, nice. That's a weird name.
Well, I thought because vampires don't like garlic, and we were,
I'm sure they would have loved. Never mind. Yeah, what are you gonna show me?
It's like a shrine. You
Oh.
want to come with me though? I want to show you something underneath it.
Sure. Yeah. And he starts making his way with you.
'Kay.
And on the way, he's like, "You were gone a long time. This time."
Yeah, it seemed like it. I was a lot more tired when I woke up.
Yeah. I mean, I only got a few looks from afar of the actual battle. You handled yourself well.
Okay, that's good. Oh, and Ben rolls down his sleeve, and there's still like feathers sticking out of his skin.
And
And he's like, and this never happened before. The other ones kind of have fallen off, but these ones sticking around.
and he kind of like tugs at it.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, okay. I'm sure that's fine. Your friend, little uppity, this time, seems a little more determined to stick around longer. I told him that I was going to get in touch with your, big boss.
It's indoor.
He told me to tell that to you.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't like talking to him.
No, my mom didn't like talking to him.
No, she didn't, and she did not properly warn me how much of a sassbag he was going to be.
My dad liked him.
I bet he did. He had a good way of finding the best in people. Just about anyone.
So yeah, I guess where we get to the shrine.
Yeah.
And Ben comes in. He's like, "So this is the shrine to Selune?
Yeah. Looks like it.
Selune? Yeah, and look down. Okay, this is what I want to show you." And Ben leads him to the trap door.
Okay.
And down the stairs into the cell.
Hmm.
He's like, "So they kept things down here. Those chains are made of silver."
Yeah. Do you know a bit about Selune? She's
Like a little bit. I know she's a god of werewolf.
yeah. Well, not werewolves specifically, but shifters. Some people who have a similar life to you. Most of them don't, have a sassy being take over their entire body. But there are people who exist who had werewolf blood or some sort of lycanthropic, another word for werewolf blood, in their past. And Selune is one of the people who guides them or looks over them. But she also would look after actual werewolves, and he sort of points around and says, "This is an area for keeping people who lose control."
Well, do you think we should take those silver chains?
No, we shouldn't. We'll leave those. They're not for you. It's a different situation. You shouldn't think of yourself as something that needs to be chained up. He's sassy, but I think there's still a lot of your spirit there, and you're not going to hurt anybody, and I know that. We don't need any chains.
Okay. I just thought maybe since I'm not in control, maybe those chains could come in handy.
I'm not going to entertain that as a possibility.
Okay.
And he, kind of like clasps your shoulder.
Yeah, and Ben kind of like touches his wrist.
Yeah. He's like, well, let's get the caravan ready to go.
Okay, come on, garlic. Put that down, garlic.
Yeah. She's got a bone from somewhere.
Where did you find that?
An adventurer's skull. Yeah, and you can see, like, as you make your way back up the stairs, Yuri's kind of like looking over this area and kind of, shakes his head and follows you up.
Okay.
So I guess Yuri would come up and over the next little while as you finish your breakfast, like, lead you out and start. The caravan's pretty much ready to go, so he just goes off to track down Gertie and Brett and bring them back to get them all hitched up.
Star beelines for the inn.
Yeah. So you actually, before you get there from one of the houses, you see Mezzanor outside the house, and you can hear him like, and he's like swinging at a tree and like cutting branches off of it and stuff like that. And you can see him sort of, practicing against this tree.
I'm going to sneak, like, stealth up and just watch him.
Okay, roll stealth.
Yeah. Nat 20.
Nice, okay.
First roll?
Yeah, first roll, I think.
Mm-hmm. First roll of this session, yeah. And, so you see him, and you see he's running, like, a drill. This is a sword drill. He's building a shelf.
It's a real big drill.
Yeah. Easiest joke ever.
Hey, I didn't make it.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pick up some of the slack. I'm diving in there with you.
You can see him cutting off every low-hanging fruit. But you can see, like, he has training. And I think what you would notice is that he doesn't have much of his own style. A lot of people who take these drills will eventually use their own body and their own movement to sort of bring themselves. But he's well trained, but definitely doesn't bring a lot of himself into his fighting.
Right. Okay. I'm literally just gonna sort of lean back on like a nearby wall and just kind of watch him for a while.
Okay.
You roll a cool check to see how,
Heck
how
yeah, can I do
suave
that?
and cool you respond against
You
that
find
wall.
the one piece of grass that's growing, and you chewing on it.
Yeah. In my teeth.
Yeah.
So I guess you're like leaned up and you're watching, and from behind you, sort of startling you a little bit, you hear, he's not much to watch, eh? And you turn around and see Lilana has sort of made her way up and is leaning against a tree near you.
I think he has potential. No, you don't think so?
Oh no, I agree. He has potential. He is very spirited. I'm eager to see how he makes out against you.
I'm gonna check. Can I perception and check her out? Try and get some insight on how experienced I think she is.
I would do an insight on her. Yeah.
Okay. Not very well because I'm not very insightful. Yeah, 10.
10. She holds herself with this cool confidence, which you definitely get this air of a cool confidence around her, but you're not really sure. The way that she's watching, she seems to have a very similar insight as you do on Mazanor, but yeah.
So how long has he been with your order? How long have you been with the order?
I have been with the order now 9 years.
And what drove you to it, if you don't mind me asking?
I think maybe you can imagine bad personal experience.
I understand.
Yes.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
No, it is okay. It's given me purpose. It's given me something. Working to stop it from happening to other people has given me some closure. Mazanor comes from a similar situation, and it is why I chose him as my trainee.
I see. So it's a one-on-one sort of scenario? He's your student?
After you are selected, yes, after a certain period of training, you'll be sent out with someone more experienced.
Sounds like an interesting order.
Yes.
Perhaps we should get this show on the road, though.
Yes, I'm eager. And she looks up and says, Mazanor, and he fumbles, drops his sword, and then quickly picks it up and turns around. He's like, oh, hello. I was getting a fire ready.
Yes, I can see that. You're quite skilled at chopping down wood.
Yeah, that's all I was doing. And let's do this thing, huh? How about?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And Star just pulls out both rapiers.
And he gags and takes his sword, and you can see him start spinning it in his hand a little bit, and
okay, Star's gonna just sort of thrust one of the rapiers into the ground and just leave one out.
Okay.
I had a quick question. Star has the two rapiers now. So one's across his back. Is one on his hip, or are they both on his back?
I think so. His old one was on his back. Mm-hmm. The new one, I'm imagining, is also on his back, I guess. Yeah.
Wait, cross?
Cross.
Yeah, cross.
Yeah.
I think on
wanted to make sure.
Knowing this duel was going to happen, Bree really wants to roll up a barrel and sit on it and start playing it as a drum.
Oh, cool.
A fight beat.
Yo, let's get a sick drum circle going, bro.
I'm proficient in drums.
Ben busts out a hacky sack and just starts vibing.
Do you want to make a performance just for kicks?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Let's see how bad I am at drum. Not bad. 14 minus 1, 13.
13? Okay, yeah. So this beat starts coming out, and you see it actually sort of steady Mazanor a little bit. And he starts to pump himself up.
Getting bardic inspiration.
Yeah, and I guess with this drum would start thrumming out through the town too. So a couple of people poke sleepily out of their houses and are sort of watching, and a circle starts to gather around. We're all there.
Yeah. Ben and Yuri roll up.
So Mazanor has this long sword, which he's holding in one hand.
Yep.
And he sort of says, so, just swords only, no magic?
Preferably, yes.
Okay. I don't know when we spar against each other, we sort of use all of it.
Yes. Well, I'm interested in testing your sword skills.
Okay. That's good. So then he switches his pole to two-handed.
Oh. Yeah, at that, Star's eyebrows kind of go up a bit.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
So I think for dueling, what we'll do is just half your HP. Whoever does half HP worth of like damage first.
Yeah, sure.
Gets it.
Okay.
So roll initiative. I don't think you need to. Plus 9 or whatever.
17.
17 total?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. He actually goes
low-rolled
first. So the two of you start he starts circling you.
I'm gonna start circling too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I shouldn't do music.
so he has the sword kind of raised up, and then he brings it down and sort of like traces through the snow behind him, and then you just see the snow sort of like pretty like quicker than you were expecting, like burst out, and two-handed he swings upward at you for a 22 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Yeah. So
He's got some moves.
Wow.
10.
Oh wow.
10
Okay.
slashing damage as he comes in, and he swings up, and you see this blade sort of like catch the light and swing up towards you. So what does it look like when? Because he's not hitting. He's obviously not going to like chop you in half with it, but he gets close.
Yeah. So
like he rings your guard.
I think Star sees it just like a little bit too late, and he doesn't quite dance out of the way, but clearly like it wins him with the with like the effort. Like so he sees it and then he stumbles a little bit as he's dodging out of the way.
Yeah.
And yeah, just sort of, but then sort of resumes composure and keeps walking in a circle.
Okay.
Ben comforts Dust.
Oh, Dust is into this. Like he is not worried.
Yeah.
Like he's watching, and he actually like leans over to you, and he's like, oh no, he's got him on the back foot. You watch. And Star, it's your turn.
At first he's going to talk. He's going to be like, "Oh, this is more interesting than I thought it was going to be. So tell me, what's the name of your style?"
What? I just I mean, I'm taught as I am. I guess it would be Vampire Bane style. And Lilana like puts her head and she's like, maybe less of the talking, huh? I think you're maybe speak with your actions. to Mazanor.
Okay, when he says that, I'm just going to respond with, yes, well, my style is called the Path of the Mysterious Circle. And at that, he's going to just wing his rapier up and just charge like straight at him.
Okay.
For a 27 to hit.
Oh, that is a hit, yeah.
Okay, and I'm one-on-one with him, so I get my sneak attack.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I high rolled it. That's 17 damage?
17?
No, wait, more. 17 plus 5, 22 damage.
22, okay. So you, you come in with this swing, and he, brings his guard up. Like, you can see that he's got, it's got a long, handle on the back, sort of sticking out beyond his hand. You see him try to tap the rapier aside, and you see it coming a mile away, and just get in and have the rapier just resting right at his neck. And he pauses, and Lilana's like, call, and a bunch of people are like, woo!
We start cheering.
Yeah.
I prestidigitation a couple fireworks.
Yeah.
One of them looks sort of like an S.
Yeah. And Lilana steps through, and you see Mazanor as you take the sword away, his body sort of relaxes, and he just okay, that was good swing. You caught me when I wasn't looking.
Star gives a big flourishy bow to him.
Yeah. And he
and then is
returns a very stiff bow.
It's you who had the good swing. I underestimated you at the start. I think you have potential. And then he immediately starts critiquing like everything about.
Yeah, and you see Lilana was coming forward to do the same thing, and when you pick it up, she takes a step back, and he's like the whole time is interrupting you with like, well, I mean, under normal circumstances, like I'm not really trained to. We're not much of a dueling. I have magic too. Yeah. So I guess people start to like slowly make their way away. You see a couple of them like picking up some of the sticks and like mime fencing with each other. Dust has written down and sketched in pretty big detail, like exactly how the fight went.
So before we kind of break away, Star's gonna ask, where is the? May I ask, where is your organization based?
Oh, we don't have a single base of operations, but I think most of our recruiting comes through Bastille.
And who is the head trainer at Bastille?
You have to meet them through introduction. I can say they're a powerful cleric, but they're kept out of the public eye for their safety.
Well, if he is as good at sword play as it shows in your technique, I would perhaps like to meet him and see what I can learn.
Yes, well, as I said, I think you'd all be strong candidates for the order. And Lilana says as well, like, yes, I also believe this. And she takes out from her belt a silver coin and puts it in your hand. And when you look at it, you see it has this like blood droplet, like this red blood droplet in the center of the silver coin. And she hands that to you and says, if you find yourself in a major city, Moxterrain is close. We have recruiters there as well. If you're able to find the order, pass this on, and it will let you skip some of the most basic steps.
Excellent. He's gonna sort of study the coin carefully, like hold it up in the sun, and then be like, excellent, I may do just that.
I hope you do.
And then puts his rapier back in, reaches his hand out to shake Mazinor's hand again.
Yeah, and he shakes your hand.
It's been good. The next time we cross paths, we should do this again.
Yes, I'll be ready next time. I got you pinned. I think I know what's
Yes,
happening
I'm
here now.
sure you do.
Yeah.
And Leilana, perhaps sometimes you and I could as well.
And she smiles at that and says, I would enjoy that. She says, but for now, we have some final rites to do to make sure that the presence is truly cleansed.
Agreed. And we should hit the road, no? And looks over at the group.
Yeah. And of course, thanks to your generosity, we have the means to communicate. So should you require our assistance, reach out, and if we hear anything about Hamel Hall, we will let you know what we've learned.
And Lilana's kind of like, what have you heard about Hamel Hall?
Oh, simply that there are rumors about some unholy activities there.
Is that so? And she looks at Mazinor, who is staring pointedly at the ground. She says, you came across this? And he's like, Brew, yeah, I thought they proved themselves pretty well. I just told them maybe to look out if they end up in that area. It is very important that nobody else is given this information.
Well, certainly, more heads are better than one.
Not in this case. We have no proof. We have nothing but stories, and she looks at Mazinor, and theories. This is not how we operate. This will cause panic in the town. If they find this out, anybody who is pale and well-dressed will be put in danger. Things like this have been used in the past to rout out people who did not deserve it, who angered the wrong people.
That is that is a very good point. We will do our best to keep this news to ourselves.
Please do. She grabs Mazanor by the collar and starts dragging him away.
Very nice to meet you.
And he shoots you a look backwards, furious, as he's just getting dragged off towards the castle.
I guess
so-
we get ready, yeah.
Yeah, unless there's other things, I think we can smash cut to the bottom of the elevator. As you start to make your way down, you see a lot of the townsfolk have sort of made their way to the edge, and they wave at you as you go. Garen goes around and shakes everybody's hand again and says, "Really, this was a big deal. This was you really helped us out here. If you're ever back, once we've got things up, consider this your second home."
And I left a folder for you with a few notes I drew up last night on some potential governance structures that may match this type of economy in this region, given the trade system available to you. And I will keep going until he gets you.
And he pulls the lever, and you start to make your way back down. He's like, I'll give it a read. Slowly, they start to disappear back up as you make your way back down towards the bottom and back into the mountains. Hey, it's Mike Fardy, your Dungeon Mom. Thank you so much for listening to episode 30 of Wonders and Blunders. We're so happy you're still around, or maybe you're brand new and you started here. That's weird, you're probably very confused. But thanks for coming anyway. We're happy no matter when you started. If you haven't had a chance yet, this is your weekly reminder to leave us a review or a rating or whatever your podcatcher lets you do to tell people that you're enjoying the show. Also, follow us on social media at Wonder and Blunder and tweet us or message us your favorite moments from the show and send a gift of inspiration to the character of your choice. But that's all for now. Thanks for listening. We love you very much. Keep being the best, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.